something that came up, which the line that came up today was that I whitewashed myself. Good morning. Hello, 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 and welcome back for another episode. We are on episode 10, baby. We're in the double digits today. So welcome. It is November right now, but I'm pretty sure this won't actually come out till I think end of February or maybe in March, but we'll see. Anyways, I just finished a therapy session, and some of the things that came up were very interesting to me. I was talking about one thing, and as it does in therapy, you know, we kind of go down different paths, and where we ended up was not where I expected the session to go. So let me start with something that came up, which the line that came up today was that I whitewashed myself. And I mean, my therapist, she called me out on this. She was like, "You've whitewashed yourself." And yes, I pay my therapist to call me out, and I love it. She's very good at what she does. And I guess some of the things that came up during our session was we were talking about security and home and belonging. And I was thinking about my own home now, being separated from my ex-husband. I have my own house now, and I was blaming him. I was blaming him for why my home, I guess, doesn't feel like home. And so I will backtrack into my own home when I was growing up. Again, being, if you don't know already, I am Polynesian, so I'm half Samoan and half Niuean. So mum being Samoan, dad being the Niuean, actually both dads. Anyways, Samoan Niuean. So my home growing up, my mum used to have like these shell necklaces. They used to normally just hang over the mirror. We used to have like lava lavas, or like those sheets that would cover like the couches, or just kind of have them as like a tablecloth. And a lot of these sheets would have, you know, like Polynesian or Samoan patterns printed on them, like bright colors. And mum would always have family photos as well, like everywhere. You'd have family photos on the wall, on like the cabinets. You'd have family photos just everywhere. On top of having photo albums. My mum was very big on having photo albums, which I look back and I actually really love them. I appreciate that part. What else do we have? I remember, well, at least my mum, and even for me when I was little, I remember having like frangipanis and like hibiscus flowers, you know, that you put in your hair. Which I know my mum also, I think she still wears them a lot these days. And so that was my house, I guess, growing up. And as I look back, I feel like as we got older, it started to, I don't want to say disappear, but maybe it just got a little bit less. And then when I got married, I didn't have any shell necklaces. I didn't have any of those, you know, frangipani or hibiscus flowers. I had very minimal family photos, and if they were family photos, it was just of Chris and I. So that's what I grew up with. When I got married, that's what our house looked like. And now that I have my own home, oh, I was blaming Chris for a lot of things. I was like, oh, it's because he didn't want this and he didn't like that, or he wanted art on the walls of a home because it creates peace. And at the time, when I was married, it made sense. I was like, yeah, it does, it feels calm. And throughout my therapy session today, I realized that home for me looks like family photos. Looks like family photos on the walls, like on whatever shelves we can find. I've got so many family photos, like magnets. I got like little photo magnets on my fridge. And you can do it tastefully. I know growing up there was a lot. Growing up, my mom would put tons of photos, but I mean that was her run. So that's okay. Anyways, why am I sharing this with you? I'm sharing this with you, again, going back to the phrase or quote, was that I whitewashed myself. So being in my own home now, nobody's telling me what I can and can't do. Nobody's telling me what should be on my walls, or that looks tacky, or that looks fobby, or that looks whatever. I get to choose. So I don't have family photos on my walls right now. One, because I don't have the funds yet to go and print the photos and find the photo frames, and it's just not a priority yet. But it was just interesting that came up today. And I was like, you know what, I'm just going to talk about it. So I had a moment where that really sunk in, that I whitewashed myself. I can't blame anybody else. It's like literally like, bitch, this is your house. Like, you have no excuse now. Some of the things that I wrote down that came up for me as to, I guess, why I'm not doing certain things, and why there is some sort of, I guess, there is a little bit of embarrassment when it comes to embracing and accepting my culture. Being someone who was born in New Zealand but raised in Australia, but of Samoan Niuean descent, it's a little bit to navigate. And some of the things that I wrote down is that I do feel disconnected from my culture. Even though I know that it's in my blood, there's still, I guess, that little bit of resistance. It's like it's new. It's still new in a way that I don't know a lot about my culture. I don't understand or speak either language, Samoan or Niuean. And whatever Samoan that I do understand, it's very little, like it's phrases, like, go and do the whangamea, or like go kaele, like just one word phrases, like they count to 10, just very minimal. So very minimal understanding of the Samoan or Niuean language, and I do not speak it very much at all yet. Not yet. What else do I have? I don't know a lot about the traditions or the culture, again, yet. I don't even know what village I'm from. And I don't know. I don't know yet. What I do know is that I have a new home to myself, and I get to choose what I bring into my home. I get to do an inventory of the things, I guess, that I once believed, whether that be, whether that is something that I adopted while I was married, that, having anything representing my culture as tacky or like not tasteful or not clean or doesn't bring calm, doesn't bring peace, whatever it is, I can go through all of that and begin to discard whatever I feel does not belong in my home anymore. And I'm not just talking about like, my external home that I'm in right now. I'm talking about my internal home as well. Some of those beliefs, or things that I've picked up along the way. So I can start to clean up, discard the rubbish, and bring in the things that will help me feel at home, help me feel like I belong, help me feel safe and secure, again, within my external home and within my internal home. I wrote down 3 things, I guess, to help me check my own self when I start to blame others for being whitewashed, in quotation marks. That's on me. I'm an adult and I have responsibility. I take responsibility for my life, for myself, for my choices, the things that I do, say, and all of the above. So the first thing I have is stop blaming others. Take responsibility. Which again, I can blame Chris, I can blame whoever, I can blame society. At the end of the day, I'm responsible for me. So stop blaming others and take responsibility. Number 2 is check in with yourself and do it regularly. So for me, that looks like self-reflection or taking inventory, like I said before. Normally self-reflection for me personally, it's just a question. It's asking myself, what do I think? What do I believe about this? What do I know about this? What do I want to do about this? And taking that moment to just slow down and ask, what do I want to do? What do I think? What do I believe? What do I know? Because then it's not going externally. It's like, well, this person said that, or I heard this and I saw this, blah, 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 blah. It's like, what do you want to do? So check in with yourself regularly. That is number 2. And the last one, number 3, is connect with your power through your ancestors. Connect with your power through your ancestors. And this is still something quite foreign and new to me, because for me, my understanding was I needed to know them to connect with them. I needed to know my great-grandparents or my grandparents. I needed to know their history, their stories, or any other ancestors that have passed on. My thoughts around that was that I needed to know them to access and feel and receive their power that they can, I guess, give to me, or whatever it is, like the support from them. And I've realized that, yes, they're already within me. Like, I don't get here where I am today without my ancestors, without those who came before me. So then there was a disconnect for me as to, well, if I understand that I don't get here without them, why is the power separated? Why? That doesn't quite make sense. It's like, well, they're already a part of me. They're within me. So the power already is there. But I didn't quite connect it. I was like, yeah, I've got my ancestors, but the power apparently just space out there somewhere in space. But the power is here already. The strength and the power of our ancestors, of your ancestors, is already here within you and within me. And just a total side tangent. Again, being on my own journey, being able to connect to my culture and to my ancestors. It's been a doozy of a year. And I have had my support systems, but I've never felt strength and support the way I have until this year. That my understanding now is that even if I might be physically alone, like I'm actually never alone. I'm never alone because I carry my ancestors. I carry my lineage with me. Like they are here. They're holding me. They're supporting me. They're loving me. They're carrying me. I'm never, never alone. So I thought I'd just put that out there. And now and also now being November 2024, which again, this will probably come out in 2025, February, March. And Moana 2 has actually come out yesterday as well. So, and from what I've seen, it's quite ancestral. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. But I absolutely believe in the power of our culture and our family and our ancestors. So this is, I guess, me calling myself out that I will no longer whitewash myself. It is a choice. It is a choice to choose to embrace and accept my culture, whether I know everything there is about it or know very little. It is a part of me. And I will take responsibility for that. So those are my thoughts. I hope you got something out of today. And if you did, I'd love to hear from you. And I'm grateful to have you along my journey. This is a blessing. This is a blessing to do this, to speak, to have the technology to make this available and share my story, share my experiences, to hopefully encourage others to come forward, share their stories, share their experiences, and yeah, just let people know that they are not alone. And I guess if my experience and story resonated with you, again, just let me know. That's it for today. Have a great day. Happy Friday, or whatever day it is that you're listening to this. And we'll do this again soon. Love you. Bye. Thank you so much for joining me on today's episode of the Coming Home podcast. I hope it brought you some inspiration and joy. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share with others who it may resonate with. I'd love to hear your thoughts, so follow me on Instagram at I am Camilla Divine and let me know what you'd like to hear in the future episodes. Until next time, keep embracing the journey of coming home to your true and fully expressed self. You are so loved. Love you. Bye.